Okay, hello, welcome back to another video. I am in a different setting today. It is morning. I'm about to start work soon, but I have some time to record a quick video to finish out this Saturn mini series that I started a couple weeks ago. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna just be finishing out talking about the topics that I was discussing in the other video that I just posted, the second part, talking about the seventh house placement and just briefly touching on Mars and Saturn and that impact together because that's something Saturn and Aries is Mars and Saturn energy together. So stay tuned for some more information on the theme of Saturn in the seventh house and being tested with relationships, and a lot of your relationships may be karmic, or a lot of your relationships will provide a lesson if you're paying attention. If you're paying attention and you're in tune with just cycles, and you're in tune with your patterns and other people's patterns and how you attract other people, you'll be able to see and understand what is going on, what went wrong, but you don't typically see it, or at least I don't see the lesson until afterwards. I don't see the lesson that I learned until after the relationship happened. I'm like, oh, okay, this makes sense. And these lessons that you experience, these setbacks, or what you might perceive as a very sad experience, which it is. Breaking out with people and having conflicts in relationships and stuff is not a fun experience. But if you are able to take that experience and apply it and change your behavior so you can be able to show up better in relationships in your future, that's the whole point. That's why Saturn is there. That's why what Saturn is trying to get you to do or understand. So the next thing I have here is conflicts are information. Do with it as you will. Conflicts, they are literally information, and it took me a couple years, to really understand that arguments are not bad. Arguments are actually good, because they give you more insight into how the person thinks, and just as long as you're not arguing to just quite literally argue each other and just not understand each other's point of view, that's not productive. But if you argue and you're still open to understanding the other person and you're listening, then that's going to ultimately make you guys feel closer and more bonded and trusting in each other. So conflicts, they are information to use, and these things to pay attention to. And I can't talk. A relationship can work as long as the two people are consciously aware and they want to resolve the conflict. But if somebody is acting out of their ego and they're not trying to resolve the conflict, then it's never going to go anywhere. So next one is understand that human beings are very complex and nowhere near perfect. You have to go through some mistakes to get closer to the refined version of the relationship. Oh my God, this is so important. Like, everybody know we're not perfect. People online nowadays just have this thing in their head about a perfect relationship or these crazy high standards for a partner, which is fine. Like, if that's what if that's how you see life, that's fine. I get it. Being in a relationship is a big responsibility and it's a lot. So you want to make sure you're with the right partner. However, everybody is not perfect, and that's something that you need to understand. You don't see people's flaws when you see them at first. You just see them, just them right there. You can't see their flaws. You understand the flaws of a person as you develop the relationship and you decide if you want to continue to stay there or not. But you have to understand that you have flaws too. The other person might have flaws. They're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes, but it's all about how you handle things afterwards. So going through mistakes and just continuously working through them, understanding each other, you eventually get to a point in a relationship down the road where it's like, okay, we've been through these things, we understand how each other are, we know how to navigate, we know how to maneuver around this, so we can just have a harmonious relationship without having to come across these issues again. So that is very, very important, and I learned that over the years through this Saturn in my 7th house and the experiences. Piggybacking on that, it's okay to look past a genuine mistake with a genuine apology and change behavior. That's it. It's okay. So I'll share a real story with me. I am a fire sign. I'm an Aries. We are impulsive, especially in our younger years, in our underdeveloped years. So I have been experiences where I just wanted to leave right away because, I just didn't want to deal with it, or somebody made a mistake and I'm like, all right, I'm out. But that's not effective, especially if you want to have long-lasting, harmonious relationship. You can't walk out over every disagreement or mistake. And if the other person, especially if they're able to communicate with you and you're able to communicate your feelings to them, and then they understand and they actually change their behavior, it's completely okay and acceptable to look past mistakes. Not everybody is deserves to be cut off just for one little mistake that they made and for being human. If it's a reoccurring thing, if it's a pattern, then okay, that's understandable that you probably shouldn't be around this person. You guys probably aren't compatible. Whatever the case may be, you use your best judgment in situations, of course, but somebody making a mistake is not always, or somebody doing something bad, is not always coming from a bad place. Sometimes people need a little bit of love and patience and somebody to really talk to them, but every situation is different. Every situation is very, very different. But that's another key takeaway that I have learned over the years with having this placement. Next one, you need to have a life outside your partner, meaning do things by yourself regularly. Have your own personal hobbies. Have your friends and family members that you see separately from the connection. This is super, super important as well. This is very, very important. We are not, at least this is my life and this is how I see things. We're not meant to be consumed by one person. We're just not. We are meant to connect with a lot of different people. And you can't have this one person be your outlet of connection. A relationship is a different type of connection. Yes, it's a very deep and intimate connection, but you have other people in your life that you need to pour into. You need to make sure, because that relationship you guys can grow apart. You can part ways and y'all won't be talking, and that's your entire life, So it's kind of like, not saying that you need to, have backup plans or anything like that, but it's just about being around everybody in your life and building a community in your life, so you're not leaning too much on your partner as well. So you just need to have your own things, focus on your own hobbies. I know for a little bit of time it took me a while to get comfortable doing things by myself, and I actually missed out on a lot of things in life because I thought that I needed to have a specific person to do these things with. But it's like, no, I can have a specific person, but I could also live my life and do things from my life and enjoy things that I want to enjoy by myself. So that's another thing. On to some talk about Mars and Saturn. Mars and Saturn, they're definitely big influences in my life because I have Mars and Saturn in the same sign. I have Mars and Saturn in the same house. They are in Aries. They are conjunct. So it's like I have a lot of, Martian, Saturn energy inside of me. And to me, that energy is kind of like Saturn wants structure, right? So you have the side where Saturn wants structure, and you know that things need to be structured in a way. But Aries is not a sign that's necessarily about structure. Aries is like, let me go do things. Aries is really good at doing things, but it's not really good at having a structured approach. They have to learn that over time. So Saturn is putting you in situations, or you'll encounter situations where you're moving very impulsively, and Saturn wants you to like reel things back a little bit. Saturn wants you to apply a little more structure to your actions. So taking action is not an issue with Aries, of course, but the structure part of the action taken is what the issue is, and that's what Saturn and Aries is trying to get you to learn, is taking action but it being structured and, you know, following through with things that you do in a very consistent manner rather than just impulsive bursts. So thank you for watching this video. I think this video is probably too long, but I will be making more videos soon. Definitely a lot more videos this year compared to last year. I'm really excited. I have a lot of ideas, a lot of astrology videos as well. So thank you, and please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed any of this, and have a good day.